Hello beautiful stars. Today I'll be showing you step by step how I achieve this look. So if you like this look, please stay tuned and make sure you subscribe. So what you want to do in the beginning is start off with a blank canvas. Here I have on my foundation, which is the Becca foundation in Tobacco. Next you want to start by putting your eyeshadow primer all over your lid. Today I used the LORAC eyeshadow primer as I'll be using the LORAC Mega Pro 2 palette. So just smooth that all over your lid all the way up to the brow bone and just make sure you get a nice seamless color. I'm going in with the color Cabernet and I'm putting that right on the outermost area of my lid. You really want to build that color up on the end of your lid just to get a little bit of dimension, and just do light sweeping motions toward the inner corner ever so often. And just keep sweeping. Then you want to build the crease color up. So this is me just adding a little bit more color just right inside that crease so I can get a nice deeper color. And then blending it outwards. Same thing applies on the other side as well. Next you want to go in with a color called Penny from the same palette, the LORAC Mega Pro 2 palette. And I'm using my finger because I want to really build that color up and I don't want any fall down either. So I'm just patting that color all over the lid, and you want to do that on both sides of your eye. So just keep patting it in and then move on to the next side until you get a nice consistent color from end to end. Next I'm going in with a color called Prosecco. It's also from the LORAC Pro Mega 2 palette. And I'm just putting that right there on the innermost corner of my eye. This helps to open up the eye area just a little bit more. Just a little bit of black eyeshadow that I'm going right on the very tip and creating like a little C right there just to deepen that crease area just a little bit more. And then doing a nice sweeping outward just to kind of blend the two colors together. And that's me taking just a little bit more of that Cabernet and really blending that out a little bit more. Next is brows. I like to brush my brows prior to applying any product to them just to make sure that my hair is going the same direction and no flyaways, and just give me a nice guide for shape as well. As you can see, I don't have twin brows. One is thinner than the other, but that's okay. Nothing's perfect in nature. So this is the Anastasia Dip brow in dark brown that I'm using, and I'm lining the bottommost half of my eyebrows with and creating my tail at the very end, and then going on the top half of the brow and creating the outermost half. And then extending that end out and then filling in the brows, the inner portion of the brows. So you really want to take this part really carefully. You don't want to have a heavy line on the inner corner. You want that to fade into the dark. So the darkest portion of your brow should be the outer corner, and then the inner corner should be very light. If you have to take your spoolie on the opposite end of the brush to kind of smooth it out, then do that by all means. But I've pretty much perfected it. So you want to do the same thing on both brows, which I did there. Next, you want to take your concealer. The concealer that I'm using here is going to be the DermaBlend concealer in Golden Bronze, or Chroma 4.5, and that's a Real Technique brush that I am using to apply that. So you just want to clean up the shape by using this brush, or whatever brush you love to do this part with. Sorry about the mirror, really had to get close to see this and perfect the shape. And you're going to go on the top half of the brows as well. Give you that nice shape. and then pull it up just a little bit, not too much. Now I am taking my fluffy eyeshadow brush and I'm just blending the two lines together. So blending my eyeshadow into the concealer and the concealer into the eyeshadow is what I'm doing here. You have that here, and you want to also go down the middle, just kind of blend those out together. Next, you'll see me grab my foundation brush and I'm just blending out the remainder of that concealer with the excess foundation that I have on it, just to make that line a little more seamless and blend in better with my skin. Alright, next I'm taking Anastasia correcting, I believe this is a concealer that this is, a correcting pen, we'll call it a correcting pen, and you're just taking that right on top of the concealer, or the concealer that you used. I like to apply this on top of it because it kind of tones the color back down to my skin tone without it being too harsh. I also use this as an inner rim liner as well. Really, really great nude color. And then you want to take the same fluffy brush and blend that in. Yes, girl, blend that stuff in. Now I'm taking my eyeliner and applying my eyeliner. Small strokes to begin with, especially if you're a beginner. Don't try to one hand swipe it across the eye. You are going to mess up every time. Small, soft strokes to create one line is a technique that I definitely recommend to all my new beginning clients who want to learn how to do perfect eyeliner but just does not have a steady hand. Small, steady strokes and then fill in afterwards. Kind of what I'm doing here. And you want to do the same thing on the other side. And cleaning up the line. Perfect! Now I'm going in with my concealer. The concealer that I'm using today is the LORAC POREfection concealer. I love this stuff. It is definitely a full coverage concealer. It's also oil free, paraben free, and fragrance free. So it is amazing. It doesn't slide around on my face, which I absolutely adore about it. And it's easy to work with, which is great. The color that I use is called Tan. I believe it's the last color that they offer. And you just want to apply that on both sides. I also apply it down the center of my nose, also on my forehead to highlight with. And then I also go down the sides of my cheeks. And this is going to be right below where I'm going to be applying my contour. So I'm using this as my highlight. Just giving me a nice shape. Same thing on the other side. And then also on my chin and Cupid's bow. Alright, feeling myself now. We're going in with our contour. This is Black Opal. Suede Mocha is what I'm using. I'm just going to apply that right in between that area, right there. And I added a lot on that area. So dab, dab, dab on the forehead area. And then I'm taking my brush and doing right on the sides of my nose just to kind of add some more definition back to the sides of my nose. Since I've added the light to it, I need to add some dimension to it with the dark. Remember, where there is light, there is always dark. And then going in with my beauty blender. This one here is a Real Techniques beauty blender. I love it. It's super soft. I did apply a lot of foundation or contour product right here, which is okay. I'm going to fix that in just a second. Going on the forehead, just extending that product there. Give my head a little bit of shape. Blending it in on the other side as well. Try not to disturb that bottom highlight that I added. Sorry for the funny faces. Try to make it work. Alright, now to fix that mistake that I made, what I'm going to do now is grab my foundation brush and sweep the excess foundation right over that contour that I added way too much on. Do it on both sides so that they're equal. They look very, very similar, and blending in my highlight. Same thing on the forehead. Blend, 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 blend. Bring it down a little bit. Blending out my highlight down there on the bottom. And then we are good to go. Next, I am going to be using my banana powder from Benai. This is actually banana, and I'm just using that to set all of my highlight that I applied to my face. So everywhere where I apply the concealer, I'll be applying this product on top of it. Just will help to set it so it doesn't move. And also adds a little bit more yellow tones to my skin as well, which I absolutely adore. Okay, and then I also apply it right on the sides where I added that light underneath my contour. Blend, blend, blend. I do the same thing on the other side. Sorry about the mirror, really got into this part. Down the center of my nose, also on my forehead. And Cupid's bow, there we go. And chin. So I've applied that pretty much everywhere where I apply the light. Look at that, looking amazing, feeling amazing. Now you want to go on with your contour. This is the Smashbox contour kit that I'm using for my contour. I love this color, works for a lot of different skin tones. So you just want to apply that everywhere you applied the dark, and that's going to be on the side of my nose, down the hollows of my cheek, on my forehead, and you just want to blend all that in. This is just setting everything. I'm at the point where I'm just setting everything and adding a little bit more depth to everything as well. That's going to make my lips look a little bit bigger. Yes, love. Yes. Alright, now I'm going in with my natural face powder. This is just to help blend everything in. Don't want any harsh lines, just kind of blurring everything out where I need it to. Making sure that the highlight blends into the contour, which blends back into the highlight. Making sure that everything looks my tone and not ashy looking, because we don't do ash, honey. And no, no, no. That's just me blending everything out and bringing the color back into my face. Now I'm using my bronzer, which is from Makeup Revolution, and it's called Rock On World. I love this stuff. It is the greatest copper toned bronzer that works for girls of color, and it's the best $6 I've ever spent. Love this stuff to pieces. LORAC had one very similar to this. Doing it everywhere on the nose, on the chin. And then now I'm going in with my Becca highlight in rose gold. I love this color. It is absolutely amazing. And I'm just doing a light, nice sweep of that on the high points of my face. So high cheekbones, down the center of my nose, and on my forehead. And unfortunately, the lip portion of my video did get kind of messed up. So you'll see right after this a small portion of the lips. There they are. Lips, that is Chianti from Stila. Newest color, is absolutely amazing. Thank you for watching. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you subscribe and check back later with me for weekly updates. Enjoy!